Hello, Heartland. I am Pastor Laura Shep, administrative pastor. And we were talking about being in quarantine and how it's affecting us in our daily lives. So I got a group of moms with me, and we're just going to talk about it, what it's like to have kids in quarantine. I have 8 children ranging in age from 18 to 3.
I am Katie McGowan. I have 5 kids ranging from 11 down to 5-year-old twins.
I'm Karen Trana. I have a recently 9-year-old, she turned that yesterday, daughter, and then a 6-year-old son.
I'm Ellie, and I have a 2.5-year-old son and a daughter who will be 4 months very soon.
What? Like she's
in 2 days.
I don't know about you all and everybody out there, but quarantine be crazy, and kids in quarantine be even crazier. This all started, I was on a PTA call, and one of the teachers who was on the PTA was saying, my kids are terrorists and they're on top of me all day long, and I'm trying to do a Zoom call with a student, and in comes my kid in their underpants going, look what I got from the Easter Bunny. And she is just like, they're all over me, and I hate this, I hate quarantine, I miss my classroom. And the principal, who, God love her, she's so sweet, but she's an empty nester, and she's like, cherish this time. It's so, my house is so quiet, just cherish this time. And I get that. But this poor teacher was trying to tell you what it's really like for her. And what it's really like for her is it's a nightmare. And, she loves her children, she loves her job, it's not that, but right now she's in a nightmare. And I just felt on my heart, other moms are going through this too, and I just wanted to reach out and just say, it's okay. And I wanted to get your guys' as other moms' perspective. We're going to start with the bad. What are some things that just aren't going so hot right now for you guys?
Being cooped up inside.
Yes.
With the terrible, it's not terrible, but the cold, you can only be outside for so long before the wind has completely rubbed your hands raw. And the way our yard is, all the water pools in most of it because we're the low spot in the neighborhood. So we have a giant mud pit in the backyard. So I don't want to send the kids out there because then they come in and it's just pure mud everywhere. And thankfully we've been drying out, but then the temps dropped again. So they are just so full of energy that the number of times a day I ask them to stop running up and down the hallway or quit using the couch, not brand new, it's a year old now, but the new couch as a trampoline. Please don't break it. We just got it.
Mm-hmm.
I think at our house, especially for my husband and my son, they're more introverted, and I feel like they're not getting their alone time as much as they should be. It's harder just to do it in the house. And this week has gone better, but the first 2 weeks we were babysitting other people's kids during the week for 40, 50 hours in the week. It was very draining on my son, at least, to have all those extra people time. And then in a good way, we had my sister-in-law stay with us for about 2.5 weeks, so she wouldn't be stuck in her apartment. And I know after she left, he was kind of like, oh, it's so much nicer. It's just us together for my son. So even though he's 6, we recognize he is introverted and he needs that time by himself. So
I think one of the challenges for us has been maintaining a good, consistent schedule because our kids they're little, they're not in school. And then my husband's school is in school, his schedule changed. I was laid off from my job. So a lot of the internal structure pieces of our life just aren't there right now. So that it's been harder to make sure they're getting their good nap times and getting to bed on time. And we're working on that.
Mm-hmm. For us, I think it's just noise, constant noise. And I'm somewhat introverted myself, but like one of the things I did before I even realized what this was going to be was I like cleaned and rearranged their entire toy area, like, and all the toys basically in one area now. So I'm like, go in there and play, and I'm always trying to shoo them in there, and they're always coming back out, and every time they come back out, I swear there's more kids and more stuff that comes out with them, and they're like, look at this, and I'm just like, I can't even, like, it's too much. And my husband was also laid off of work. He's a substitute teacher. So that's one of the pluses, is that he is like, thank God that I've been doing this for a year. And I when I see these study guides and I see what they're supposed to do, he goes, I know what that is now. He goes, I know. And so he's been doing our SHEP school, and I go to work at the church, and I find I'm staying later and later at the church and doing stuff. And then I'll come home and, and our oldest, she's been helping out another family by babysitting for them. And that was hard for her too. She loves the family, loves the kids, but I mean, she'd be so drained too when she got home that it was rough. So, and not having her around the house is always hard too, but yeah. What about something good? Let's talk about positives now. Yes.
I can share, it actually started the first week that school closed down. I'm a special ed teacher at an elementary school. So when they said we don't have school, I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to do something for my kids at home. So I grabbed all the math, all the reading I could, things that they can work on, because they're kindergartner and a third grader. And I just started them off that first week. We're going to do this right away. We wake up in the morning, we eat breakfast, we're going to do school, because I have a feeling this is going to be like a longer thing that's going to be happening. So I already had that routine in place before then my workload started hitting, the following week when they pulled us in as teachers and all these meetings and things we have to do. So that's my favorite part of the day, is waking up with the kids and doing their schoolwork with them, with my own kids. And it keeps me having consistency and doing something that I love doing, where I can work with them directly, and not over a video screen, which is my teaching job right now. So, yeah.
Al still wakes the kids up at, just about their normal time, and they have to get dressed, eat breakfast so that they know they're ready to work. For us, that's work. That doesn't have to be every family's thing, but for us, that's worked. So
my kids don't know what sleep in means, so they're still getting up at 6, because that's just how their bodies work, which is its own special thing. But we're still, and also because my husband is still working, he has to be out the door by about 8:45. So we still do family breakfast every morning. But the kids know, like, as soon as breakfast is over, they go downstairs and they do their schoolwork. There's times where he hasn't even left for work yet, and they're like, we finished all our work for the day. And I'm like, everything? I got all 5 of my boxes done on my Learn board, and I'm like, okay, what about the extra stuff your teacher sent? Yep, got that done too. And I check it, and sure enough, and I'm like, it's 9 a.m.
I know.
What else am I supposed to do with you all day? So that's good that they're like enthusiastic and ready to go and getting it done, and I don't have to harp on them, because my heart breaks for, I have friends who,
Me too.
I mean, their schoolwork is significantly, the load that they've given their students is so much higher. Mm-hmm. And I'm very thankful for the work that Fargo gave, that it is manageable and appropriate for what this situation is.
Yeah.
And I have a friend who has spent hours and hours during a day working on 5 math problems with one of her kids because he refuses to do it. Mm-hmm. And, or they're having trouble because they've got scheduled Zoom calls every hour. And I'm just like,
wow,
how can you do that with your kid? And especially if you have more than one.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I don't
know, like 2 of my kids had Zoom calls at 2 today. So I had one on my computer and one on an old phone in 2 different rooms. And I'm like, everybody else just stay away. But
yeah,
you do that with all these extra kids. And
how are you guys doing that, Laura, with so many kids and they all have to be online at the same time? Are they like in the same room together?
Well, luckily the school, when you're in high school, you get a device. Junior high let Isaiah take home a device, and then we have 4 in elementary school, and they let us use a Chromebook. And we had, on one of those wacky Amazon Prime days, I had decided, you know what, I'm going to get my kids a Fire tablet for Christmas last year. And like the week before Christmas, Hannah and I were out shopping, and she's like, wow, these headphones look so cool. And so we ended up, they got tablets and headphones for Christmas last year. And I'm like, thank God, because we're not really big on letting our kids do electronics all day or anything. But if we wouldn't have had that, even, they have to listen to their lessons. They have to, and we don't have that much space that 8 of them can be in different rooms and not hear the other, so it's been a total miracle for that. Our youngest one, though, too, because he doesn't have any school, he just wanders around the house looking for somebody to do something with him, and you can't really have the TV on, and you can't always have other things going at the same time because it'll drain the internet too, because with so many devices online at the same time. It's been a little bit more struggle, I think, for the 3-year-old. He misses his friends. He misses Manu, his best friend. He misses his friend Gavin, and he'll whine for them, and but he got Mickey Mouse underwear today, so we're gonna try a new step for him. How about you, Ellie, though?
Well, the Mickey Mouse underwear is the perfect transition to what's going well here. Because I got laid off, I'm home, which, of course, is really good timing because our kids can't go to the babysitter anymore. And so that has been kind of a lovely blessing for us that I get this time with my kids that I wouldn't normally get. And we haven't pulled out the Mickey Mouse underwear yet, but they're in the drawer ready when he's ready. And we're also trying to slowly ease the 2.5-year-old, and his little toes are stuck deep in the mud. He really likes the convenience of diapers, but trying to potty train him.
Yeah. I was kind of wondering for your son too, you're in a different class than us in that at least all of our kids have a playmate if they want it. There is a sibling there to play with if they need it. But what about you? Because his sibling is really tiny, and it's not like she's playing with anybody yet. So, what do you do? How do you manage life when you have one that constantly needs your attention at 2? And you try to do anything,
Yeah. Well, you're looking at the playmate. That is my full-time job. I was homeschooled, so I actually did create a daily list of things for him to do, more for my own sanity than his, because I was like, I need to have a list of fun things that we can do that I can fall back on so that I'm not always trying to generate new ideas. Oh, that thing only kept your attention 5 minutes. So now what's next?
Mm-hmm.
So that's been nice. I just came up with a list of 12 items, and he gets a sticker if we do them. And some of them are practical things. Like if he helps me with a house chore, then he gets a sticker. And that's another thing I'm working on, is trying to incorporate him more into the things that I still need to do. I still need to wash the dishes. I still need to do the laundry. I still need to clean the house. Figuring out, okay, how can a 2-year-old help me with the dishes and be a part of the process, even if it's just he's washing the soap off of the cups after I wash them. And he absolutely loves doing that. So it's kind of a win-win. He stands next to me on a chair and we do the dishes together.
Cool.
Yeah. So just trying to what can he, how can he do this with me?
So have you guys implemented anything extra that you didn't used to do?
I started some of my summer stuff early during the summer just because bedtimes are more lax and stuff. I would do a read aloud after dinner once they're all in jammas and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had been reading Chronicles of Narnia. And so last year we did Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So this year I already started Horse and His Boy. And so the kids, like, after they're all in pajamas, they've all brushed their teeth, they all spread out in the living room on the couch, and they have to have something quiet, which means no Lego, which is hard in our house because we're Lego collectors. But that makes way too much noise for them to be digging through buckets. So they can either color or they can play with Transformers, because we're also a big Transformer family. They're everywhere. And they all sit, and I'll usually get through about a half a chapter a night, so it takes like 15 to 20 minutes, but they all, like, they want to hear the story, so they're fairly quiet. And I can't be doing anything else because I have to be reading, so it, like, takes me out of that, like, what else does the news say, like, that momentum, which I can get really caught up in. And so that's been really nice to just calm us all down at night. And then I also I pull my 2 oldest boys out during the 3 younger ones' quiet time, and read with them a different series. And then I pull my daughter, who's in the middle, out. I pull her out in the morning, and we do a read aloud together. And just having those, like, little separate times has been really nice. And usually I would say that till summer, but I was like, what else do I got to do? So we'll start it now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Over Easter, we did just like a brief, like, devotion time, and we read through the Easter story, and it took us, like, we went through every, like, you know, let's read about his arrest in, you know, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and then let's read about this part, and just the questions the kids asked. That was really cool. We just did it for the 3 days. I don't know about any of you, but do you see, like, the cool ideas people have on Facebook or Pinterest or whatever, and you're all like, yeah, we're not cool like that, you know? Like, I see people, they get all dressed up, and they're like, let's wear I've only worn this once outfit and have a meal together. And I'm like, I probably couldn't fit into the everything, you know, the thing I only wore once outfit. And, like, our biggest claim to fame in that is that we're having guys girls nights tomorrow. So, like, the guys are going to be upstairs, the girls are going to be downstairs, each doing your own Hannah-Bought face mask for us to wear or something, like, you know, makeup face mask. I don't know. So, but how about you guys? Are you doing anything fun and extra like that? I love your reading idea, Katie. That's really great.
I don't know. We've done some projects together. Like, we made, like, slime together. We made Play-Doh together. You know, those are super fun things we do occasionally, but now I find myself, we should do that more now. And then for my daughter too, she's very artistic, so trying to come up with, like, different challenges for her, you know, to, like, push that creative side of her a little more. So yeah,
it's definitely given me more time to be more artistic, but, like, artistic at the level that my 2-year-old is at. So like, I haven't used finger paints since I was 2, probably. So just pulling out some of those artsy things that we just have not done a lot of. Like, we've definitely been, I have been on the internet a bit more, like, looking for art projects. Like, we did the clay mold, like, made an imprint of his hand one day, which you can just, it's like flour and water and salt, and then you bake it. So things like that I just haven't had time to do before. Now I have time to do with them.
So one of the things I've been asking all kinds of people in my life lately is, what are you doing to bring joy? And it doesn't necessarily have to be joy to you, but just what are you doing to bring joy into this world right now? And if you don't feel like you're doing anything, you know what? I'm there too some days. So one thing that was, like, all those hearts on the windows. Every time I drive by, it just makes me happy to know that people did that. You know, that's one great example. I love that. But
I guess I found myself reaching out to people I maybe haven't in a very long time, you know, like, maybe I haven't talked to that person like a year, even just to shoot them a quick text, like, hey, how are you doing in all this? You know, how are you managing? You know, do you want me to pray for anything? I've been doing that more. So yeah.
One of the arty things that we're doing is I have this big collection of, I like sending cards. So I have all these fun, weird cards. So I've just been having my son color in them, and then I send them to people that I probably haven't sent cards to in a long time. So it's been nice. It's kind of that same like reconnecting with people I wouldn't necessarily normally be in regular contact with, but then they get a little hello from us, and I write a note so they have something in actual English, and then the 2-year-old version of English as well.
I've been trying, if I can remember, when we are hitting up a store, if we have to go into one, to check on a couple of my friends who we were already sharing grocery shopping like for the last couple of years, like, oh, hey, you're running to Costco this week. Would you mind grabbing me this? Like, trying to be more proactive about it now so that we're only hitting, whatever stores. Just because extra trips, especially if you only need like one thing from that store.
I know.
Yeah, sure, I can pick that up for you and drop it off. And it's heartbreaking. I dropped something off for someone a couple weeks ago, and like leaving it on her doorstep and seeing her in the window waving at me. I want hugs. Like, that's so hard. But
I heard that our grocery store close to us, like they're only going to allow one person per family in now. I haven't personally run into that, but that's going to be the new thing. And I mean, my own kids have not left like the house or the vehicle in like a month. I mean, like we are not trying to just put them out there, but sometimes like I can't get Isaiah a new pair of jeans unless he's standing in front of me trying the jeans on, because he's growing like a weed still. And I can't guess. I am trying to be respectful of quarantine, but boy, is it hard some days, I don't know. Maybe you guys are experts at it. I am not. I try.
I've taken the kids on drives. Like we've driven places and they've stayed in the car, but like grocery shopping wise, I either go by myself or Micah sits in the car with them while I run in, and like we did a Sam's Club pickup order, so I didn't even have to run around the store. I just like walked in, get stuff, get out.
I had never done like a drive up order or a pickup order or anything like that, but that's like that's my go-to now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice that that's an option if I am out of something, I need it, and if my husband isn't home to have the kids, then it's a safer way to get the things that we need.
One of the other things I was thinking about, and Karen, this maybe goes to you, is like, what are you doing for birthdays in quarantine? My son has a birthday later this month, and like, sorry, buddy, there's not going to be any friends or any like.
Yeah, no, we've done nothing with friends, but we did do something with family where it was my dad's birthday over the weekend too. So we went to my parents' house and literally just stood in the driveway and ate some cupcakes, handed off presents, and then left. But at least it's better than nothing,
Yeah.
And just trying to do like, okay, Kaylee, it's your birthday today. Like, you get to pick all the meals today, So she's like, I want Pop-Tarts for breakfast, mac and cheese for lunch, and raviolis for supper. And I'm like, boom, we were good. So, and then we just did like a movie on demand, in that we have a like here theater set up, you can see in the basement here. So
nice.
We Dr. Dolittle together, and she thought that was
okay. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Our second born turned 10, which is like one of the few birthdays that we do a little bit, bigger hoopla for, because he didn't double digits. 6 days after this all started. So it would have been the like first official day of spring break for Fargo. Was his birthday. And so he had planned, he wanted to go to Texas Roadhouse for his birthday dinner, and he had picked a meal for lunch and breakfast, because we always do that. They get to plan their whole menu. When they left school that Friday, everything was still okay. And then by Sunday night, governor closed schools. And we were like, sorry, Jameson, like, we're not going to bring you to Texas Roadhouse. Like, even if they haven't shut things down yet, we're not going to.
Yep.
You're gonna have to figure out a different plan for your birthday. And so he did, and it was like he still had a good birthday. We had already bought all his gifts, thankfully, so we didn't have to worry about, no, I take that back. For 10th birthdays, we do what's called a double digit bag, where everything in it has the name double in the title. So like double cheese Cheez-Its and double mint gum and double noodle soup and double chocolate brownies. And like, I hadn't bought the stuff for it yet.
Oh.
So I had to sit there and go through the Walmart grocery app and try and find everything I could that was double. Not easy.
Hey, Laura, I see we have less than a minute.
Oh, gee
There's a
whiz.
time limit. Yeah.
Well, gee whiz, ladies, thanks for being here. You know, keep the faith. We're gonna make it. You know, sometimes when they say, oh, it's gonna be all better by next week. Well, I don't know about that. It sounds like it could be months yet, but thank you guys for joining me. This will be one of the first in the series of this. We're gonna try to do like one on fitness, one on marriage, you know, just some other ideas. But yeah. Thank you, Heartland family, for listening to us today. We love you. We miss you. Our kids are sad for everybody else. And God bless.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.